One voice. How are you all? I hope all are safe at home. Welcome to today's class. Today, let us go with Unit 1 B reading. Yes, it's a poem. The poem name is The Duck and the Kangaroo. So, before going to that, let us see about the poet. The poet is Edward Lear. Edward Lear, 12th May 1812 to 29 January 1888, was a British artist, illustrator, author, and poet, renowned today primarily for his literary nonsense in poetry and prose. In his childhood, he suffered from ill health. After a long decline in health, he died of heart disease. His principal areas of work as an artist were treasure. As a draughtsman employed to illustrate birds and animals, making colored drawings during his journeys. As an author, Lear is principally known for his popular nonsense works rather than as a traveler writer. These show a great ability to use with relish the sound of rare and invented English poets. The poem The Duck and the Kangaroo is a poem with a touch of light humor. So dear students, so this is about the poet, right? The poet is Edward Lear. His lifespan is 12th May to 18 or 12 to 29 Jan 1888. And he is from British and he is very famous for his nonsense books. And whatever the poem that we are going to look into today, it has a touch of light humor. So let us start the poem. The Duck and the Kangaroo. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you," said the duck to the kangaroo. "Please give me a ride on your back," said the duck to the kangaroo. "I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we'll go to the Dee and the Jelly Bully, over the land and over the sea. Please take me a ride. Oh, do," said the duck to the kangaroo. Said the kangaroo to the duck, "This requires some little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck, and there seems but no objection. Which is, if you let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatis," said the kangaroo. Said the duck, "As I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of rusted socks which fit my bare feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I'll smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of the kangaroo." Said the kangaroo, "I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady and quite at the end of my tail." So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy? Oh, who? As the duck and the kangaroo. So dear students, let's look into the poem. So here, before that, the duck and the kangaroo both were friends. Yes, the duck and the kangaroo both were friends. One day, the duck said to the kangaroo. What the duck said? "Good gracious, how you hop." Here, who means who? Who refers to? Kangaroo. Here, who means you? Yes, you refers to kangaroo. So the duck said to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, so wonderful. My dear friend, you hop. You have a quality of a hop." What is the meaning of hop? Jump or leap or move by jumping. So my dear kangaroo, you have a great quality to move by jumping. and with that quality, you jump over the fields and the water too very easily. Dear friend, and nobody would stop you. Really, it's so wonderful. And then said Duck also, it said that my life is a bore in this nasty pond. Yeah, my life. Yeah, my means who? My means who? The duck. Yes, my means who? The duck. And duck said that, my dear friend, your life is so happy and wonderful and cheerful, but whereas my life, it's so boring. My dear friend, my life is very bored in this nasty pond. Yeah, nasty means nothing but very bad and unpleasant. My dear friend, having spent all the time in this unpleasant pond, really I'm feeling so bored. And I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you. So, my dear friend kangaroo, I have a long. A long means nothing but want or wish very much. So, my dear friend kangaroo, I have a wish to move around the world. If I would be like you, if I would have a quality of moving by jumping, I wanted to go around the world, said the duck to the kangaroo. Then also, duck saying to kangaroo that, please give me a ride on your back. Please give me a ride. Here, me again, who? Again, duck. My dear friend kangaroo, please give me a ride. A ride means a short journey. Please give me a ride. Yes? So, if you give me a ride, I sit quite still. Dear friend, if you give me a ride, during the journey, I sit very steadily and I make only the sound quack. That is the sound of a duck, right? Then also, what it wanted to, the whole of the long day through, and we would go to the tea and the jelly bolly. The duck said that, my dear friend kangaroo, if you give me a ride, we'll go to the place. What is the name of the place? The tea and the jelly bolly. It's a wonderful places imagined by the poet. Yes, then the duck said that, dear friend kangaroo, if you give me a ride, we'll go to the wonderful place, the tea and the jelly bolly, over the land and over the sea. So we jump over the land and over the sea, and we will have a wonderful time. Dear friend, if you give me a ride, we will go to the imaginary place, said the duck to the kangaroo. So the duck said like that. Then said the kangaroo to the duck. When the duck said that like that, then the kangaroo said, this requires some little reflection. My dear friend, I am ready. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck. Dear friend, really I would be very happy to give you a ride. But there is a small objection, my dear friend. The kangaroo said that I am very happy to give you a ride. But my dear friend, there is a little objection, which is if you let me speak so bold. My dear friend, I wanted to tell you that objection, if you let me to speak so bold, here it is, frank. So here it is, if you let me to speak frankly, I wanted to tell you the objection that I have while giving a right to you. What is that objection? Your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatis, said the kangaroo. And what the kangaroo said, my dear friend, your feet, wet feet. Yes, what kind of feet do the duck have? The duck, it has a web feet that have toes connected by membrane. Nothing but always the duck's feet will be very moisture or very wet. So because of that wet feet, maybe it cause a disease to kangaroo. What is the name of the disease mentioned here? Rheumatiz. What is that? Rheumatiz. Rheumatiz means a disease that makes the muscles and the joints painful. So my dear, then kangaroo said that, dear friend, I am ready. I will be very happy to give you a ride, but maybe your web feet will cause me a disease rheumatis, said carefully to the duck. Then the duck said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely. My dear friend, I thought before you. About that, my dear friend, I thought about that problem before you, and I have got arranged something, said the duck to the kangaroo. So what were the arrangements that had been made by duck is, or I bought 4 pairs of roasted socks. Duck said that it got ready 4 pairs of, how many pairs? 4 pairs of woolen socks. Yeah, roasted socks means woolen socks. My dear friend kangaroo, I am ready. I have arranged 4 pairs of roasted socks to make, so to keep her web feet warm. Yes, to come out to get out of the cold. And to keep out cold, I have bought a cloak. Even I am ready with a cloak. A cloak means nothing but a coat that protects from cold. Nothing but like sweater like. Yes, and also even though if you feel any cold, I am ready to go for a smoke, a cigar every day. I am ready to smoke a cigar daily to keep my body warm. So, in order to give you warmth, not cold. Yes, and every day cigar I'll smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Duck said that, my dear friend, I thought about you. Yes, I do. As I did not want to give any trouble to you, I have got arranged these things. Yes, what are those? It has that our duck has arranged 4 pairs of woolen socks and 1 clock, and as well ready to smoke a cigar to keep herself warm. Then said the kangaroo. When the duck said that, as she was ready with the things, then I am ready. Here I refers to who is the kangaroo. I am ready. Okay, my dear friend, if you got the things arranged, yes, I am ready, and we'll start our journey in the moonlight. And also, kangaroo said that, dear friend, to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady. You have to sit steadily, exactly, quite at the end of my tail. Here you can see quite at the tip of the tail of the kangaroo. So to make balance, you have to sit steadily, quite at the end of the kangaroo's tail. So like that, so away they went with a hop and bound. So they jumped very high. Here bound. Here bound means nothing but a high or long jump. Yes, they started their journey with a high jump. And they hopped the whole world 3 times round. So how many times they moved around the world? 3 times. How many times? 3 times they went around the world. And who so happy? Oh, who? As the duck and the kangaroo. Now, dear students, who was so happy at the end? Either duck or the kangaroo? Yes, dear students, here both were happy because both were, as they were friends, kangaroo was happy that it could realize the dream of his friend duck. And duck was also happy. Her wish was fulfilled with the help of her friend kangaroo. So finally both were happy. So here it is, you can have a theme of this poem, that true love of two friends. What is the theme of this poem, the duck and the kangaroo? True love of two friends. True love of two friends. Two friends. And true friends always help one another. Yes, what is the theme here? The true love of two friends, and true friends always they help one another. So this is how, students, we should have a friend who helps us in all the way. We should also maintain such kind of relationship with the friends. We do have friends, and we like to have a honest friends ever. So dear students, so this is all about the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. I hope you have understood. Thank you.